Look at the perp. Look at the perp. Yeah. You gotta look at his shoes. Oh man, they're unbelievable. Gotta laugh at their asses. That's what I say. They try to say you are mental ill as TIs, but they're the ones with the mental illness. Look, she's staring at the dude down there. Again, see, he looked towards Pam direction. I'm going with Pam apartment building, and then she comes from behind this corner here, staring at him. You know, as he's walking now with a fixated stare. I'm like, yeah, listen, I seen this shit. Whatever, you know. Like I said, y'all haven't stopped me from doing the recording despite all this subliminal shit that y'all trying to do. So just keep doing it. That's okay. You think y'all hurting me, but y'all not hurting me at all. And you think because of her malignant narcissism, which you guys created within her mind, that you know, she feels she's getting what she wants. But in reality, she's being used and abused. Just like how you try to use and abuse me. It's not working. Not working anymore. Yeah. You know, it's an interesting story. It's not really interesting because it happens a lot. When you're a TI in a relationship and they break up the relationship because of using other men or other women to entice your significant other, to make them believe certain things. And what happens that a lot of some you know, for a woman, like I said, I listen to other TIs and their experience, and so when they break up the relationship, especially if you're a male TI who have a girlfriend or a wife and they break up that relationship, and particularly in your younger years, and that person end up, if it's a female that you're involved with, the person that they send to entice her or what have you is to try to get her pregnant so they can hurt you, right? So they try to break your heart so they can hurt you, emotionally damage you. This is what they do. Okay? And then not also do they, and some of them end up getting pregnant, but they end up getting STD like HIV. Okay? So, but you know, you gotta leave them be, especially if you tell them what's happening and they choose to remain ignorant. You know, you gotta let them be, particularly if you have no kids with them. Now, I understand if you have kids, you're trying to protect your kids like I am, but you gotta be able to detach your emotions, regardless of how you feel, right? Because ultimately, remember, they're being manipulated, but they like the manipulation because they think they're getting something out of it, or if they're getting something out of it, it's nothing that's
It's the holidays.
No, we're not humbling ourselves, buddy. It's funny how they try to say the humble yourself. Only black people say that shit. Okay? Only black people say that shit. Ain't no other group. Only poor black people say that shit to each other. Why? Because they religious belief. Why? Because they hate to see a person doing good. So they tell you humble yourself. You know, it's that old church belief, right? Like through the Dark Ages, where Europeans couldn't even take baths daily. It would tell them to humble themselves in the eyes of God, because if they take baths daily, that means they will be boastful. You know, remember, a lot of these sayings come from religion, so you got to be aware of that shit. A lot of these shit come from religion, religious indoctrination, right? Because the only person that's supposed to not humble themselves are the people that are in control, right? So just remember that. And the only reason why they want you to humble yourself is because when you do that, what you're doing is allowing them to feel comfortable in suppressing the fact that, you know, you may have worked hard, or you may have you know, attained knowledge, and so they don't want to feel little by the things that you've accumulated, by the knowledge that you have. You know, they don't want to feel like they're not as smart or they're not as successful, so they tell you humble yourself. Now look at these mega churches, these pastors that tells you how you need to be humble, right? You see them getting on there with their $5,000 shoes, bragging about their houses and their cars, bragging about what they bought their wives or their girlfriends. Now, does that sound to you like they're humble? Okay? So just remember, when you're dealing with narcissistic personalities, which is what they created in most of us, that's why, especially we as black people, that's why we don't like to see each other do good. We don't like each other to see each other succeed. And particularly if you succeed and you turn around and you try to help your community, they'll attack you for that shit. You know, crab in the barrel mentality, right? So it's like no one can move up without the vast majority pulling that person down. And those that move up don't turn around and give a helping hand to bring others up, because when they get to that position, they feel special. When they get to that position, they feel like they deserve it and you don't. Right? That's the mentality. Okay? So that's how they feel. This is why when they create programs like these, it's to basically keep us down, because they know that, you know, we're not falling for their trick anymore. They know that we don't believe in this self-centeredness, this extreme self-centeredness. They know that we're not going to participate in these sort of crimes against others. And it's because of the people that are in positions of authority is the reason why a lot of these, you see your neighbors get involved, because they feel that they're protected, because those in the authoritative position who have given them the okay to do these things, that they will not be held accountable. They had that accountability removed from them. Okay? It's the same thing that happened in Germany. It's the same thing that happened during the Milgram experimentation, where they remove the responsibility off of the individual and place it squarely on the people in an authoritative position, because ultimately they will not be held accountable, and those in the position of authority, because they're in that position, they're not going to hold themselves accountable. So until you understand that, you know, you'll see. Okay? So remember that. We don't, as TIs, we don't subscribe to their evil ways, so they got to try and destroy us, right? Anything that's good in this world, they got to try and destroy. All right.